NASP, National Archery School Program, Basic Archery Instructor Class, BAI. I'm going to teach you international target style archery to promote shooting sports in grades 4 through 12, okay? We feel to get it at the university level was our next step in wildlife fisheries. What we want to do with the program is get it at the university level. So physical education teachers like yourself coming out will have this certificate. So you ask, what's Louisiana wildlife fisheries interest in archery? Well, a couple reasons. One, we are trying to promote license sales, okay? And archery is a gateway sport. So the statistics say roughly around 1/3 of people who get into the sport of archery will go out and not necessarily bow hunting, but maybe even buy a fishing license. Just kind of a gateway to the outdoors. Any questions thus far? And I'm gonna, guys, this is an 8-hour class. We're gonna blow through this. So at any time, if you have any questions, feel free to stop. Archery is a lifelong sport. It's fun. It's best taught with a positive attitude. And one of the best things about this is anybody can do this, okay? These bows, Matthews, Genesis, 10 to 20 pound bows, they can fit big kids, they can fit small kids. I got kids in wheelchairs at the state tournament shooting these bows, okay? Last year at the state tournament, I had a kid that didn't have the use of his right arm. So what he did, he put the bow between his legs, knocked the arrow, grabbed the grip, and he had a mouthpiece on the string. He would bite that mouthpiece, and that's how he would shoot. So you got kids that literally, I'm gonna use the word, that are not jocks. They can't bench press 200 pounds, but they can shoot a bow, okay? Anybody can excel this. Any questions?
You got it?
Oh.
No.
Got it? Okay. So what I want to do is we're going to start with our first block of instruction. This is called range setup and safety, okay? And of course, this is an indoor shooting range. Before I get into that, I want to talk about some safety rules. I got 3 important safety rules. Number 1, do not run on my range. No running in this facility. Number 2, this is the emergency whistle blast. This is 5 and 1. 5 and 1 blast, and what that entails is there's an emergency on the range. You as an instructor, if you see an emergency, you blow the whistle 5 more times, it's going to sound something like this. Okay? That point, the archers are on the line, they relax the draw, unknot the arrow, put it in the quiver, back on the bow rack, and back behind the waiting line. We'll talk about the waiting lines and all the lines in the range. And our last rule is the dry fire rule. And in essence, what the dry fire rule is, I'm the only one allowed to do this. At no time do you draw this bow other than on the shooting line with the arrow in it, ready to shoot down range, okay? In essence, what a dry fire is for instructional purposes only, is the drawing of this bow and the releasing of the string with that arrow on it. Why is that important? This bow can come apart, you can hurt yourself, you can hurt the archers around. Any questions on the dry fire rule? Okay. Guys, if I can get you up and, well, let me talk about indoor and outdoor range. Indoor range, range signs. I don't know if you can see. Let me grab it. We'll look at it in a second, but what I have on the outside of the range, okay, is a sign that says, do not enter archery range in progress. On the back side of that door, I have a sign that says, do not enter archery range in progress. Why is that important? Okay, you as a teacher, say this is your gymnasium, this is your hour and a half. You've got janitors walking around with keys, right? If that door was right there, we'll talk about shooting orientation. Theoretically, the janitor would walk right through that door and get arrow in the butt, right? So everybody needs to know. We'll lock the door as well. Everybody needs to know that there's archery range in progress. Setting up an indoor range. Can you, of course, you want to shoot in the direction of the most pedestrian traffic, okay? Can you shoot towards windows and office doors? You can. You can, but you don't want to. Okay? For instructional purposes only, you can do it. In other words, I could put the archer, the arrow curtain down there and shoot. But why? I mean, that's the last resort, lowest pedestrian traffic possible. Outdoor range. You can set up in the outdoor. Very important in the outdoor range is you want to be able to see people coming. You want people to be able to see you. You want to have enough lead time to blow your emergency whistle. Next important thing in outdoor range is before you go out there and start shooting, you want to count all your arrows. Why is that important? That ensures that when you finish shooting, you have accountability of all the arrows you shot. In other words, you didn't leave anything out there, which is now a hazard, a trip hazard, a mowing hazard. Okay, kids playing on the playground hazard. Any questions about outdoor ranges, guys? Okay, I've set up outdoor ranges. Heck, we set one up right here in Lafayette. Coach Charles, I was telling you about him earlier. I can't think of the school that teaches that. Somebody may know him, John Charles. We set it up between 2 oak trees. Okay, I ran the arrow curtain between 2 oak trees. All right, what I want y'all to do is stand up. I want y'all to each grab a packet down here. Y'all wouldn't mind, grab one of these packets. National Archery in the School Program website, okay? Obviously, you can make this in Microsoft Word, print out 100 of them. I go to the website and print them out, okay? Very important. Safety. Again, as educators, when I approach a school about this program, the first thing a principal says to me is, oh my God, you're shooting arrows in school? And that doesn't. But this is safer than any program, any physical education program taught in school is safe. And it's table top tennis, ping pong. That's the only thing I want to use there. You know, could you imagine the kids arrow in the butt in the program where there's no more archery in school? That's probably across the nation. So, any questions? Everybody got a packet? Okay. Follow me down range. We're going to look at range setup. And you use this for a lot of measurements on the range. Right here is y'all are fortunate to have a facility like this that has arrow curtains. But when you buy an archery kit, it comes with an 8-foot by 30-foot arrow curtain. It can support a lot of targets. And the first thing I want to orient you to is your arrow curtain. That's the first thing you're going to set up in the range. Of course, orientation of the range that we talked about previously. But arrow curtain. 3 important things I want to talk about this arrow curtain. The first thing is the distance from the arrow curtain to the wall. Now this might not quite make it, but it needs to be equal or greater than 1 arrow length. Okay, that's the placement. Equal or greater than 1 arrow length. Why? We want the curtain to have enough give so it doesn't hit a hard object and bounce back and hit an archer. Okay. Second thing, and this is unique. Again, y'all have a unique facility, but when you set up when you get to your respective schools and y'all institute the program, y'all get a kit, when you set up the net, we want 3 to 6 inches of drape on the floor, okay? That just adds to the cushion, helps cushion the air. And the third thing I want to talk about is you'll have some folds. And this is, again, unique, but when we set up our arrow curtain, there's going to be some folds in it, okay? And again, that's just so it has some give.
Yeah, this facility is 1988 was when it was built, so it's a little outdated.
But it's a...
When you're talking about drape, you're talking on the floor, 3 to 6 on the floor.
Yes, sir. 3 to 6 inches of the arrow curtain drape.
Touching the floor, okay.
Yeah. Lastly, hang your arrow curtain on something stable. What we typically do in gymnasiums is we run it from 2 goalposts, okay, 2 basketball goalposts. Don't put it on tether post where they'll fall over and somebody gets hurt. Okay? Safety is paramount. Next issue. Target placement. These are 80 centimeter feet of targets. Feet is acronym for Federation of International Target Archers. Okay, 80 centimeter target. This needs to be equal or less than 1 NASP arrow from the arrow curtain. Okay, why is that? Let me exaggerate a little bit. Well, this one's hard to tell, but when a traditional arrow curtain, this again unique, but a traditional arrow curtain will end about right here. Now, if we exaggerate, we put it greater than 1 arrow length. Foreseeably, you could hit the edge and you could miss the arrow curtain, striking some hard object. Okay, that's the importance. Equal or less than 1 arrow length. Target centers, center to center. at a minimum 2 arrow lengths center to center. Okay? Everybody got that? So 3 important things about arrow curve. Greater than or equal to 1 arrow length from any hard object. 3 to 6 inches of drapes on the floor and folds in it to catch the arrow. Target placement, greater than or less than or equal to 1 arrow length and greater than 2 arrows center to center. Okay. All right, moving on. This right here, the first line, and this is blue masking tape, and this is what we use in the program. And of course, you can use other masking tape. NASP says blue painter's tape. We can use rope, whatever you have. This needs to be 2 meters or yards from the face of the target. Reason being, these targets and these arrows get a little sticky, okay? And when you have an archer pulling his targets or pulling his arrow out of the target, you want to ensure that only the archer that's pulling the arrows is up here. You might have somebody here scoring, you might have other coaches coaching, but you want to ensure that if that arrow's sticky and he jerks, that he doesn't gouge anybody in the skull, okay? That's the purpose of that 2 yards or meters, okay? Again, this is called the target line. Okay, as we move our way back, this next blue masking tape line is the shooting line, okay? For beginning archers, we put that 5 to 7 yards or meters from the face of the target, okay? As your archers get better and more experienced, you can move the target line back, okay, according to their abilities. At the state tournament, we shoot at 10 meters and 15 meters. Those are 2 volleys of fire, 10 meters and 15 meters. Any questions about that? But for starters, 5 to 7 meters or yards off the face of the target. These floor quivers are nothing more than about 2 foot, 3 inch PVC, and these are just 12 rings long. Okay, there's, you can actually buy the 2 foot sections at Lowe's, but there's schematics on the National Archery School Program website. These have to be greater than 1 arrow long. Okay. What I typically do when I set the range up, I set the center of the target, or as best as I can. That way, if I have a right-hand archer, you still, versus the left, you're still good. Okay. As we move back, this is called the waiting line. All commands are given with all your archers behind this waiting line. Okay. And before those commands are given, all archers behind the waiting line. This is 4 yards, at least 4 yards or meters behind the shooting line. Okay, so we got the target line, which is 2 yards or meters from the face of the target. Okay. Shooting line, which is 5 to 7 beginning archers from the face of the target. The waiting line is 4 yards or meters from the shooting line. Okay. And this is a bow rack. There's several styles of bow rack, and that goes directly in between the shooting line and the waiting line. Any questions? No questions. So that first line is called what? That's the now, range commands. What NASP has tried to do is associate and there's really no verbal commands, and we'll get into it. Everything's done by whistle. Once you train your archers to shoot, once you train the kids, they almost run the range themselves. Okay? All you're doing is doing whistle commands and coaching. So, there's a series of 4 whistle commands. The first one being shoot. You associate 1 whistle blast with 1 whistle shoot. Okay. 2 whistle blast means get both. 3 whistle blast means go to the arrows. Okay. And of course, you'll have the 5 or more whistle blast, which is your emergency whistle blast. Okay. Again, very important. You see instructional range, emergency whistle blast. If you have archers getting ready to shoot, they relax their draw, unknock the arrow, put it in the floor quiver, put the bow back on the bow rack, back behind the arrow. Okay. No commands are given to everybody's back behind the waiting line in the instructional range. Any questions on any of that? Range 7. Okay. So target center to center, what do we need to do? What distance? And that NASP arrow is how long? 30 inches. And Dry fire. What's a dry fire?
So whenever you have no arrow, you're not supposed to do it unless you're the instructor. If you have no arrow, then you just...
Yep. Okay. All right, that completes the first block of instruction. All that will be on your test. Probably more. Probably can cover it all. Determining dominant eye. So if I could get
Second block of instruction.
16. Okay, 8 on this line right here. And 8 on this line. Facing each other, directly across each other. Why is determining the dominant eye important? A couple of reasons. And this program was developed by international Olympic archers. One is everything in archery is about consistency. Now, what I mean by that is you can still be accurate if you're consistent. Okay? If you're consistently making bad shots, you can move those bad shots. Okay? In order to be consistent, you need to have your dominant eye. You need to shoot with your dominant eye. Also helps with balance. As you know, especially being with switch balance means a lot. So I'm going to teach you 3 methods to determine dominant eye. The first method we call the point and wing method. So I need this row right here. I'll turn around, and I want everybody to close their eyes, open them, raise your right hand, and point at the clock on the wall. Okay, both eyes open. Okay, point at the clock on the wall. Now I want you to close your left eye. Okay, if that clock moves, that means your left eye is dominant. Okay, open your eyes, lower your hand. Do it again, pick your arm up, point at the clock, close your right eye. If that clock moved, your right eye dominant. Okay, and vice versa. If your left eye, close your left eye, and it didn't move, your left eye down.
So the eye that you close is the eye that you're dominant?
Yeah. What happens is, in essence, I want to talk about a couple different methods. I know it blows everybody. So I'm pointing at that clock, and I close my left eye, and that clock moves, or my finger moves off that clock. That means I was focusing with my left eye. That means my left eye was the dominant eye. Once I close it, my other eye focuses in. I know that's a tough pill to swallow.
Is it bad? Like, I can't close my eyes. So I do like this and it moves.
Yeah, that'll work.
But so can I close my left eye though? I can't close my
Sure.
It doesn't matter which eye you close.
But if you close it, you can open your right eye, move the other eye.
That's why I need to close
Number one on your right eye.
That balance thing, you have better balance when you have both eyes open and you shoot, okay? Nevertheless, you still want to use that dominant eye. If your right eye is dominant, you want to shoot as a right-handed archer, okay? Nevertheless, try and keep both eyes open. Now, I'm a little bit of both. I'm kind of unique, but I have to close an eye to shoot. But we would like you to try to keep both eyes open. You're going to have students that you're going to battle this with, okay? All right, the next method I want to teach, if y'all turn around, y'all face each other, and this is the one I like to do. This is what we call point. So that was point and wing. This is point at the instructor. And as the instructor, what I do is, Mr. Lynch, could you point at me? I want you to point right between my eyes. Okay, you're right eye dominant. Your left eye dominant. Now, how did I do that? As he pointed at me, I looked over his finger, and it lined up with his dominant eye. So if y'all point at each other, and as the instructor, that's the way I do it. If I have a line of kids right here, okay, your right eye, your left eye. So if you point across at each other, can you see that? Now, there are going to be exceptions to this rule.
Oh, we learned something today.
She might at least
Ultimately have the final say on that with these kids. You're going to say, okay. They're going to be, I heard a gentleman say, and that's That's a common occurrence that, man, I'm left-eye dominant, I shoot right-handed. And that's okay, if that's what you're comfortable with, but you want to try to get these kids to shoot. If you're right-eye dominant, man, I want you to try to shoot right-handed, and I want you to try to shoot with both eyes open. You want to introduce them to the right way first. If they're still awkward and they can't overcome that, then, of course, let them shoot what they want to shoot. Any questions on that? All right. Now, so what were the three methods?
Point and wing,
Point and wing.
point of the instruction, and what do you call it? Aperture.
Aperture method. Okay. I find the latter two much easier to explain than the point and wing, because you're gonna have kids, man, if you close that left eye, it moves. I mean, that's just a tough pill to swallow. And I still have trouble with that one. So, everybody understand that, the importance of determining dominant eye? Okay. What I want you to do is get in your packets and get this string out, guys. All right, guys. This package I gave you about $20 package. I say that to say this. This is a very important tool, and when you institute this in your respective schools, this is just an 84 to 90-inch piece of string. Okay, you can buy the string at a little piece of rope at Walmart, cut it into segments. Of course, you're going to have some 7-foot students that 9 inches is not going to be long enough for the drawing. Just deal with that as that arises. But so this next block of instruction is called making a string bow. We'll talk about the importance. I'm going to walk you through making one. There's several steps to archery, and we'll talk about, and I'm going to walk you a little bit through them right now. But what I want you to do, first thing, is to marry the two ends of the string. Some of them, like the one I have here, if I married up, my center serving is not centered, okay? If that's the case, just fold that in half and center that up. Next thing I want you to do is grab down about 6 to 8 inches. Okay. And this is going to resemble gripping a bow. Okay. Now, when you want to when we start pulling on it, it's going to set in the lifeline of the hand, just like your bow's going to set. We'll talk about that. It really, you'll see it better with the bow, and I'll talk about the grip, but the lifeline is nothing more than the meaty part of your hand right here, okay? And that's really where you want the bow grips. Meaty part of your hand, okay? Next thing I want you to do is what we call the draw hand grip. Now, this is a unique grip. We call it 3-fingered. It's a 3-finger grip in the archer's groove. I'm going to walk around and show you the archer's groove. So, I got my draw hand grip, and it fits in that joint, just behind the joint of my second finger. Okay? So the joint of my pointer finger, the joint of my ring finger, just behind the joint of my middle finger. Everybody see the archer's groove? You see how I have that?
Yes.
Okay. And again, I'm a right-handed archer. I'm right-eye dominant, so I draw with my right hand. Okay. See that? The joints and middle fingers just behind that joint. All right. Next thing I want you to do is hinge up. Okay. Straighten those arms out. And I want you, don't draw yet, but when I tell you to draw, I want you to draw, and I want that pointer finger in the corner of your mouth. I want you, your pointer finger, I want you to put it to the corner of your mouth. I want you to touch the corner of your mouth like you're looking at a fish, okay? Look something like this. I'm drawing straight to the corner of my mouth, okay? Everybody do that?
Not up there.
Touch the corner of your mouth. I want that finger in the corner of your mouth. Okay. Now, holding your bow hand, releasing your draw hand like so. Do not let that point go. Now at this point, I want to tie a knot right there at that pinch point. Okay. You're probably not going to get this right. got a knot at the finish point.
Does everybody know how to tie a knot? You know, the wildlife guy might take too much for granted there. Boy Scout people.
Hand's length, maybe a little bit more. Tie another knot.
Hand's length or width?
Yeah, I'm sorry, width.
With hands.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Whoa! Dad's making sure we don't go to sleep.
Everybody got that?
I'm impressed. Those are some pretty knots.
Okay. Now, with your bow hand, the hand that you grip your bow, I'm a right-handed archer, I grip my bow with my left hand. I want you to do that. I'm a right-handed archer, I grip my bow with my left hand. Vice versa, I'm a left-handed archer.
She can't get it up.
Everybody see that? Okay, now what I want you to do is grab the bowstring, just like so.
Aha.
I nailed it. I nailed it. Okay. Now what I want to do, guys, this is very important coaching technique right here, very important coaching point, is draw length, okay? Draw length is very important in archery. It adds to consistency. Now, if y'all look back, I got a draw length chart right here, okay? Everybody can see this, and if you look at my draw length, the best way to do this as a coach is to go down the line, have everybody with the string bow draw and kind of aim at the ground. What you can do as a coach is I can look down and ensure, as I look down that string, that it crosses just behind the elbow. So everybody see this string? Look where it's going down my elbow. I mean, it should run just about right there. Is that what it's doing? It feels good, so I should be pretty close to that. Can everybody see that? Okay. Is it running just behind my elbow? Okay. Now, I want to exaggerate a little bit. Here is a short draw length. Okay, you see that? Now, this is a gross exaggeration, but you see how it's running way back here? Now, here's an overdraw. You see how it's running to this
Yes.
side? Tells you the drawing's too long. I exaggerated a little bit as well with the short bow. Okay, very important. So once you teach them to make the string bow, and you're going to have to manipulate these knots again, okay? Get everybody on line. Let's get everybody on line so I can look at y'all's drawing.
Facing.
Yeah, face. All right, go ahead. And just like we run it through here, I want to see you draw it. And hold it down a little bit. You're going to, a lot of y'all are taller than me, so that's why I say, you know, that way you as a coach can see that. Okay, that looks a little long.
Yeah, I feel like
Draw. That's again, you're also not anchored in the corner of your mouth, so that's going to have to be adjusted. That's way too short.
Yeah.
You feel comfortable with that? No, that's too short.
Yeah, your elbows.
That's short.
Short.
Corner of your mouth. That don't look too bad, man. You feel comfortable? Yeah. Okay. That looks a little short.
Short.
I mean, if you feel comfortable.
His elbows up.
Anchor in the corner of your mouth. Finger in the corner. That don't look bad. Feel all right? We good with that? That don't look too bad either, man.
Nope.
Looks a little short.
Short.
But you feel good. Yeah. Well?
Now that looks better.
Yeah. You feel okay? You feel good with that? Pointer finger in the corner of your mouth. That don't look bad.
Don't look bad at all.
That looks, you look short.
Point down. Yeah, short. Definitely short. Way short.
What about this?
That looks short. Short.
Yeah, your elbows sticking out 90 degrees almost. Should be back behind.
Way short. Way short draw. What's I want to bring something to your attention that no one string bow fits every archer. Okay, so each of you archers will need their own string bow. In other words, my string bow is not going to work this. So, And I guess if you run a 20-student block of instruction, you have 20 string bows, and you just make it every time, but then you burn the time, because it's not an easy process. Why is this important? There's a few things. One, probably the most important is time conservation. You don't have to set up a range to practice archery with a string bow. Okay, you can go through all the steps, just about all the steps, with just a string bow. A lot of teachers will do a week block of instruction on the 11 steps of archery with just a string bow. Get the kids learning the dynamics of shooting before they even get a bow in their hand. Okay, while kids are shooting, other kids can be practicing the string bow. So again, you don't have to set up a range to practice string bow. You can coach all the dynamics without having to worry about an arrow going down range or safety. Okay, get all your kids online, go through the dynamics, look at drawings, which again, time conservation will add to the efficiency and proficiency of the course. Any questions on the main string? All about this, okay? It's really null and void. If you got short or long, it's just very inconsistent. Why do I keep beating up consistency? Paramount is your archers, your kids are not hitting the target, okay? They're all over the place, and this bow is just beating them up. Guess what? They're going to lose interest in that, okay? If you're not good at something, or don't feel like you're at par with everybody else and just not learning, you're just going to lose interest. You're going to be discouraged. Get you right. Ensure that they get the fundamentals, and then you can move forward. Any questions about that? Okay. And this string bow is typically what, 84 to 90 inches, right? All right. Now, if you're looking at me, and my drawing, what does that look like?
Short.
Short, okay. And this would be
Long.
too long. I'm still anchored in the corner of my mouth. You sure that's long? Yes, it's very long, okay. You all right, sir? Very important. Drawing, okay? And I think what you said, we'll get a drawing poster, and you can pull that off the website. Okay? Important of those posters is, you may know what drawing is, but it's real hard to visualize, so I always put that up there, and your kids will be able to visualize that drawing. Okay? It's real hard to explain. Next block of instruction is called the